Okay, so I'm going to talk about the law of trespass. Now, we know that we have Black Psychology. There are many books out there, but I'll read some passages very quickly from that law of trespass and Black Psychology. Black Psychology basically is the law of trespass. It's like blowing knots, blowing wind, talking into the wind like I'm talking right now. The winds will come, carry it. People have, he who has ears, let him hear. Some people are able to, spiritual people can connect in different ways through hearing and through telepathy. That's also a science. But I want to discuss the law of trespass. And the law of trespass goes in the Torah. It says, "Then the Lord spoke unto Moses, saying, if anyone commit a trespass, a sin there through error, in the holy things of the Lord, then he shall bring his forfeit unto the Lord." And so often you make an offering for trespassing against someone else. It's not the physical trespass that you actually think. Those trespasses are trespass. Somebody steals something from you, they're supposed to give it back to you, because then God makes an automatic connection between the sin and the sinner. And this is why there's the courts that are built in the spiritual world. John the Baptist got killed for the court, thinking that he came, that Christ got killed almost in the laws of the Torah, where the Torah says that disobedience, obedience, the law of obedience. If you go back to the Torah, you get your knees capped basically, and your legs, your feet get hammered some way with bolting welches and stuff like that. So Christ almost got killed in a sacrificial ritual by a Roman guard through almost like the Jewish Torah. It's incredible to see how Christ died against the law, but yet the rabbis themselves did not kill Christ. It was actually a Roman guard. And Romans were actually pantheons, or they had Isis, Greeks, pantheons from farming, etc. So it was completely different. But I'll go back to the law of the trespass. The law of trespass goes on to say in the Bible, Matthew 5:48, in 5:48, chapter 6, the model prayer 15, it states, "But if you do not forgive men their trespasses, neither will your Father forgive your trespasses." So God knows that telepathy or Black Psychology exists, and He knows that He created the system interconnected with one another, that no matter what we do, even if we're isolated on top of a mountain, doesn't mean we're disconnected from God's world. God is the owner of the heavens and the earth and all that's between it, and He is the law giver regardless. Whether if you're next to somebody face to face, the law exists, and if you're not next to that person and he just took my pencil or whatever it was, it's still the law. You're going to be connected because the energy thereof between the law it still exists. So we have a cord. Now that you just stole my thing, he trespassed against me. If he doesn't make an offering to God against the trespasses that he's doing against me, God is going to sin him. It's a sin. You have to say, I don't consent to this sin, because people use the spiritual realm to kind of like investigate things or spy on other people, and and try to tap into the spiritual realm to communicate themselves. And so the Torah in Leviticus chapter 5 explains the offering. It's a guilt offering because it's a guilt offering because you're trespassing against somebody else. For in the book of Nehemiah, they used to trespass against Nehemiah. Well, actually, they were trespassing against Nehemiah because Nehemiah went out to build the wall, rebuild the wall in Jerusalem, and God had tipped them off about the enemies of God. And those enemies were plotting and conspiring before while he was building the wall and stuff like that. So he had to get all those garrisons ready for the ambush. But again, the laws are there. People say, well, we don't want to deal with those old ancient fugazi laws, but those laws still are prevalent. Adultery, if when you find your wife committing adultery, somebody shoots her, and then what? Then the law comes right back to secular law. And so it is stated that actually Jewish law furthers the laws of secular laws. And because it's not been studied in comparison to the sciences, this is what we have. Look at the plague, the consumption of different animals. Those are the laws of the Torah. They are the laws of the Bible. They are laws of the Quran. And these laws are broken, and now we have the coronavirus, and it's spread all over the place. The pigs, one of the things that continuously Puerto Ricans are consuming, and it's continuously having massive plagues. It's known to have different types of names of viruses. I mean, I can give you a list of swine flu. Other coronavirus could be also prevalent in the manure of the pig, I believe. Excuse me, I'm might be not factual there, but I have to go back and recollect it in the data. But remember, the laws of God are prevalent. You can't break the laws of God, and I know many people want to walk away from the laws of God as if they don't exist. But take a look around you. Even the law of water, war for water, and there's shortages of food. We have to prepare ourselves. How are we going to deal with these crises that are coming? How are we going to deal with pathogens and viruses for the next generation? How are we going to better feed our nutrients, our earth, our Mother Earth, all the things? And I also want to say, in comparison to the indigenous laws, I want to go back to indigenous laws because I'm Taino. I consider myself the emperor of the Americas, the indigenous, even to the Arawaks in North America, etc., and the first world peoples of Ecuador, etc., because everyone has a voice, and they never gave a voice in the United Nations. But those indigenous laws I study, I'm trying to study the indigenous laws comparisons to the laws of the scriptures. But one of the laws states that women can't show their sexuality, being naked in front of their family members. And if you look at many of the tribes in Africa, maybe Zulu tribe and other tribes, Yoruba tribe, possibly maybe they're ancestral tribes, when they were not Yamaya or Chum, etc., all together in the Pantheon, but when they were separated, they could have been going against that law, and so that law reflects the law of slavery. And slavery has been always a hot topic. Usually it's focused in the context of racial dynamics, but we have to look forward towards the spiritual dynamics of slavery when it came from the very beginning of one of the prophets. I believe the prophet Noah was naked, and his children came upon him and saw his nakedness, and that's one of the Jewish laws, is seen as incest.